Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, and in this video I'm going to be going over my 2024 NFL season predictions for every single award besides like comeback player of the year and I believe Walter Payton man of the year, because I just don't know what that could be. But for every other award, I am predicting it and hopefully I can get it right. Now I have been doing this for the past like 2 years on my main channel. Last year admittedly did not go good, just because of the fact that, I mean, the players that I picked last year got hurt or their team just was not performing to what they should have been performing at. So I don't want to talk about that. I said it was 100% accurate and it wasn't. I kind of lied about that. But this year it is 100% accurate. And I will say, though, picking MVP was very tough in my opinion, just because I feel like the obvious answer for the past couple years has been Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. But this year, I feel like the voter fatigue is a real thing at this point. I mean, Mahomes has already won multiple MVPs. Same with Lamar Jackson in the span of like a 5-year stretch. And I just don't think that MVP voters are going to want to give Lamar and Patrick Mahomes their third or fourth MVP, whatever they have, right? I think it's their third MVP, right? Because Mahomes has two and Lamar has two. So I feel like they don't want to do that. And voter fatigue is a very real thing in the NBA and also in the NFL. Because, for example, explain to me why Tom Brady doesn't have more MVPs. It's the same thing, right? Voter fatigue. Same thing with LeBron or Michael Jordan in the NBA. So I do think there is going to come to a point where voters aren't going to be wanting to vote Mahomes and Lamar MVPs every single year. So I think this year we're going to have a skill position player win it. And in my opinion, I think it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. Now, for example, or actually not for example, but let me just go over some players that I think could win it besides Christian McCaffrey, that I feel like I wouldn't be mad if someone else said. So we got McCaffrey, CD, CJ Stroud, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill. Those are awesome players. Actually, no. Let me take Justin Jefferson out of that list because JJ McCarthy is hurt. So never mind. But for example, Tyreek Hill, CJ Stroud, C-Mac, CeeDee Lamb. Those are all players that I think could win MVP. Some other dark horses would be Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. But that's what I think. I just don't think Lamar and Mahomes are going to get it again. I don't even care if they have a spectacular year and Mahomes throws for like 40 touchdowns. I really don't see it happening, man. Voter fatigue is truly a real thing. So I think C-Mac is going to win. I thought C-Mac was going to win last year. Like, towards the end of the year when they were about to do the MVP voting, I was like, bro, C-Mac could actually win this. And I think as long as C-Mac stays healthy, C-Mac should win. I mean, again, with the threat of him catching the ball, running the ball in the end zone is just absolutely disgusting. It's just the real thing is him staying healthy. And Trent Williams, as long as he's also on the field blocking for Christian McCaffrey, that should be good. Now, he's trying to get a contract extension with the 49ers as I speak right now, which should be happening in the next couple days. So I'm not worried about Trent Williams missing time with the Niners. I think he's going to play a full year as long as he doesn't get hurt. I think his contract is going to get extended before the season starts. So that's a good little sign there for C-Mac. But in terms of my offensive player of the year, I have CeeDee Lamb. And the reason why I don't have Christian McCaffrey here, because you're probably wondering, well, why don't I have the MVP also be offensive player of the year? Well, historically, for some reason, which is dumb, the NFL never does that. Their MVP, which is majority of the time an offensive player, never wins offensive player of the year. I don't get it. But, for example, last year, right, Lamar Jackson won MVP. Did he win Offensive Player of the Year? No, he didn't, obviously. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do this year. In my opinion, I think CeeDee Lamb is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. Now, I definitely think it's going to be a skill position. I don't think a quarterback's going to win Offensive Player of the Year because normally they don't. And it really was either between CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill, because I don't think C-Mac is going to win 2 awards because they usually don't do that in the NFL. And I think it was literally between Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb. And the reason why I picked CeeDee Lamb over Tyreek Hill is just because, and I know it's not a huge thing, but the fact that the Dolphins added OBJ into that offense and Jonnu Smith is just going to take away less targets and less receptions for Tyreek Hill this upcoming year. So I think since those two weapons have been added into the offense. Not that I think OBJ is like a 2018 OBJ or anything like that, but I think the fact that they added OBJ into the offense, they added Jonnu Smith, is just going to take away targets from Tyreek Hill, and he's not going to be that clear number 1 option. Now, he's still going to get like 100 targets in the year, but it's not going to be as much as last year just because OBJ is going to probably steal maybe 15 receptions. Jonnu Smith will steal maybe 30, 40 compared to how many times they used their tight ends last year for the Dolphins, which was not that often because their tight ends were not good. So I think CD is going to win just because he's going to get the ball every goddamn play. It's just, that's what it comes down to. Yes, we have Brandon Cooks. It doesn't really matter. CeeDee Lamb's that clear number one guy. It's really not even close. I think he's going to get the ball like 10 times a game. Or not get the ball, but he's going to get targeted like 10 times a game in my opinion. So that's why I got CeeDee Lamb winning Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, I got Myles Garrett winning it. I think he's going to go back-to-back on this. I'm not going to lie. Myles Garrett is a freak of nature. There's really nothing else for me to say. Last year, Myles Garrett had a hell of a year. I think he did deserve it over TJ Watt. I don't know. I think he played better last year. I'm just going to go over the sack total for Myles Garrett last year. He had 14 sacks. I know it's not all about sacks, but I'm looking at Pro Football Reference right now, and it's not showing me these like other advanced stats that I would usually go off of, like QB hit rate and all these other things. But yeah, 14 sacks, really good. He also forced 4 fumbles, by the way. He recovered 1 fumble. He also had 3 pass deflections as well. 42 combined tackles. 17 TFLs for Myles Garrett, 30 QB hits. Yeah, that's a pretty damn good season for Myles Garrett, and I think he's going to continue to build on his resume of potentially being a future Hall of Famer. And yeah, I definitely think Myles Garrett's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, this was the easiest award for me to pick. It's Caleb Williams. I really don't think it's that hard to understand. Offensive Rookie of the Year is a super big quarterback award, and last year I thought Puka would win it. They gave it to CJ Stroud, which shows that the voters love giving Offensive Rookie of the Year to quarterbacks, so I think they're going to build on that trend and give it to Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams is having it, well, literally out of any rookie quarterback that I've seen, literally has the best setup of a team. This guy has Rome Odunze, who they drafted in the top 10 picks, one of the best wide receivers that I've seen coming out of Washington University. They have Keenan Allen, who they got from the Chargers, and they already have DJ Moore on that offense. They still have Cole Kmet, solid O-line. They did lose DeAndre Swift, but it doesn't matter. Their running backs are still really good. Oh, wait, no. Did they lose DeAndre Swift? No, they got DeAndre Swift. Sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, they got DeAndre Swift. They have a solid O-line. I just talked about their receiving weapons. Their defense is really good. Obviously, they have a really top corner in Jalen Johnson. And overall, I think they are primed to maybe make a run in the playoffs. They're not in the playoffs, but make a run to make the playoffs. I think the Bears could potentially go 9-8 this year, maybe 10-7 with Caleb Williams. Now, I don't like to say that rookie QBs are going to be good, but it's going to be hard for Caleb Williams to not do good in this Chicago offense. I mean, he literally has top wide receivers in the NFL as a rookie and also a pretty decent tight end, man. I really don't see a world where Caleb Williams doesn't do good. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm picking Dallas Turner. He was my favorite edge rusher coming out of the NFL draft. Now, I know Leatu Latu is a really good person, and also a good NFL player, but I just think Dallas Turner is better. Well, not NFL player because we haven't seen these guys play, but in terms of college, I like Dallas Turner more just because he's not as injury prone, and I think Dallas Turner is going to have a really good year for the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, he's their replacement for Danielle Hunter, so we're going to see if Dallas Turner can actually live up to what Danielle Hunter did there for many years in Minnesota. But I think Dallas Turner is really good. He looked very good in the preseason, so hopefully he can kind of transition and turn that into NFL games and doing really good, so he could make my prediction come to life. Coach of the Year, we got Matt Eberflus just because I think the Bears are going to have a really good year, which in turn means that the Coach of the Year is going to go to Matt Eberflus. Last year, they gave it to another team that had a rookie quarterback that did good, which was CJ Stroud, so I think they're going to build on that trend again, and I think that they're going to give it to Matt Eberflus this year. Best record in the AFC, this is not an award, but I just wanted to point this out. I got the Baltimore Ravens, and if you really look at the Baltimore Ravens schedule, it's truthfully not that hard. Yes, they're playing Chiefs week 1. I actually think they're going to win that game, and one thing is look, the Ravens have never historically with Lamar Jackson had a good running back, which means the read options aren't as good. Yes, they had Mark Ingram at one point. Yes, they had Gus Edwards, but it's no Derrick Henry is all I have to say. I think Derrick Henry is really going to change this offense. Now, he's not washed, but he's not like 2020 Derrick Henry, but it's still Derrick Henry. He's going to run all over that Chiefs defense, and in my opinion, that just getting Derrick Henry on that offense is going to be nasty. The read options with Lamar and Derrick Henry are going to be lethal. I think Ravens could easily win pretty much every game. Their hardest games are against the Chiefs, who I think the Ravens are going to beat the Chiefs. Not by much, but I think they will beat them. They do play the Cowboys. Man, I'm a Cowboys fan, but there's no way we win that game. They play the Bills. Like, dude, their schedule's hard, but I just don't see them losing to any of these teams. Like, are the Ravens going to lose against the Bills? Probably not, man. The Bills lost a lot of players on defense. They lost Stephon Diggs. I mean, man, that's a tough look for the Bills. Bengals, I could actually see the Bengals winning that game. And, yeah, they play the Browns twice a year. They play Steelers twice a year. They play Texans. Like, yeah, they don't have an easy schedule by far, but I think the Ravens go 15-2 this year. I think that they end up probably losing to the Bengals at least once this year. Maybe they lose to the Chiefs potentially. So I'm going to say the Ravens either go 14-3 or 15-2. I think the Ravens have a really solid record despite them having a really hard schedule. I still think that they can figure out ways to win these games. And then the best record in the NFC is going to go to the 49ers. I think they go 14-3. They have a pretty hard schedule as well for obvious reasons because they're one of the best teams in the NFL. So, of course, they're going to have hard schedules. But I think the Niners go 14-3. And then my Super Bowl is going to be Ravens versus Niners. Now, I know it sounds dumb for me to not put Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, but, bro, there is no freaking way that this guy makes the Super Bowl 3 times in a row and wins all 3 of them, back to back to back. There is no, dude, I really cannot see that happening. Like, I'm being serious, and I'm not even trying to be a Patrick Mahomes hater right now, because I really don't like him that much, like, because people glaze the hell out of him. He's a good guy though, but yeah, I can't see the Mahomes winning 3 Super Bowls in a row. I just can't see that happening. I really do think he's not gonna make it to the Super Bowl, and if he does make it to the Super Bowl, I don't think he wins. I really do think that the Niners played a better game than the Chiefs last year in the Super Bowl. Is just some little dumb mistakes here and there. But yeah, I think the Ravens make the Super Bowl. I think the Niners make the Super Bowl. And I think the Niners win the Super Bowl. The Niners basically have the same team, except they got Ricky Pearsall and a couple other draft picks. They didn't lose Ayuk. They're not losing Trent Williams. They still have Purdy, Debo. They still have Elijah Mitchell, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. Their team's stacked. And if I mention their defense is still really good. They got freaking Talno Hufanga. They got Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Dre Greenlaw. It just, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So I think Niners win the Super Bowl. Now, I don't know the score of the Super Bowl. I'd guess Niners win, I'm going to say 27-24. That's my prediction. 27-24 Niners win the Super Bowl. But yeah, I think the Ravens do sneak in the Super Bowl. I don't think that they're going to win the Super Bowl just because Lamar is not good in playoff games, so maybe that's dumb to have the Ravens going this far, but I know that there's no way the Chiefs go back to Super Bowl. Honestly, if it isn't the Ravens making it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC side, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Bengals make it or the Texans, in my opinion. But yeah, that's going to be it for my 2024 NFL season predictions. Let me know what I got wrong, and if this video gets like 1,000 views, I guarantee you there's going to be like 100 hate comments saying how the Chiefs are going to win it all and all this other stuff, which I totally understand. I really don't see it. But anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't. And definitely go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you guys like watching me play video games, getting pissed off. And also for more NFL related news, NFL draft related news. And if you guys like college football related news and college football gameplay, go ahead and check out my other channel, Dev23CFB. It's the link in my actual main channel. Just go to my profile, you'll see it. Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys then. Bye.